Hey guys, this is SAT Vocab Unit 2, and we're going to handle it a little differently this week. You are going to see all four root words and all the vocab that associates to those root words in one video, as opposed to me making two videos because, well, why make two videos for one unit? It's just not efficient, right? Let's be efficient. First root word is actually nunce or nounce, and it comes from Latin, and it means to announce. So it's pretty obvious what all these words have to do with speaking, right? Our first vocab word that we're looking at is enunciate, and I am trying my best right now to enunciate because, being from the South and all where people don't enunciate, enunciation actually goes a long way. Enunciate is a verb, and enunciate means to pronounce or to articulate. If you take the Latin which means out of, and we add it to a root word, enunciatum, we get to announce out of something. The spelling bee contestant was asked to enunciate so the judges could understand what she was saying. If you're going to enunciate, you're going to be more specific and articulate the words that you are speaking, just as we are doing now. Next word, renounce. The lady in the right, the young lady in the right is actually renouncing Islamophobia, and she's also renouncing war. To renounce means to reject by a declaration. In order to become a member of the Slumbering Groundhog Lodge, T-Bone had to renounce his membership in other organizations, meaning he had to say, nope, I'm not a part of those. I am a part of this other one. That is to disavow. That would be a good synonym. And an antonym would be to reaffirm. If you're to reaffirm, you would be actually to further pledge your support. Next vocab word is pronouncement. And pronouncement, this guy's making one. It ain't much work, but it's honest work. Or it ain't much, but it's honest work. That is a declaration of opinion or judgment. We're going to take the Latin pro, and pro means forth, and we're going to add it to a root word, nunciatum, and it's going to its meaning is to announce forth. Turk's pronouncement that the party was a disaster drew agreement from the whole group, meaning that they all thought that it was a disaster, but it was still a declaration of opinion, even though people pretty much agreed with him. A synonym for this word, meaning synonym, meaning same, declaration. Next root word, we're talking vos or voc, and it is from Latin as well, and it means to call. Next vocab word is actually going to be invoke. I could hit my help button to invoke some assistance. Invoke actually means to call on for support. Comes from the Latin on plus vocare is to call upon. So I'm calling for support. T-Bone invoked his First Amendment when Shirley tried to silence him with her sassy hand. He said, no, like you're not going to shut me down. I'm invoking, meaning to call on for support, my First Amendment rights, which means that I can talk. Shirley. Provocative. No, we're not talking politics right now, but we are talking people, and this happens to be a provocative person. He is causing disturbance or excitement. Most of the time when you see his name associated or in the news right now, it seems to be pretty provocative. It causes a disturbance. We use the Latin pro, meaning forth, plus the root word vocare to call forth emotions. Particularly, something's provocative calls forth emotions. The film's provocative ending had people talking for months. No one knew if the character died or not, because they did not know if the character died. It was provocative, meaning it caused a disturbance or some excitement. Staying presidential here, the president of the United States of America has the ability to veto something, which is to revoke a rule. Revoke meaning to make invalid or deactivate. You take that same similar Latin re, meaning back, plus the vocare, and you call back. So I'm calling back something that has been called before. If you don't pay your traffic tickets, the state may revoke your driver's license. The state gave you this driver's license, but they may revoke it. They may make it invalid. Synonyms include recall or cancel. Antonyms include activate. Our third, if you're keeping score at home, this is our third of our four root words, and it's going to come from Latin, and it's for or fari, and it also means to speak. Our next vocab word associated to that is actually one of my favorite words in this collection, and it is ineffable. Ineffable simply means that it's hard to find the right words to describe something, and many of the most beautiful experiences in life happen to be ineffable. They happen to be unutterable and indescribable. You take Latin in meaning not and ex meaning out of. It's not out of. Fari, not able to be spoken. Just like math, baby. Many religious writers speak of the ineffable wisdom of the divine being. It's ineffable wisdom because it's not like the divine has the exact words. If there's exact words in order to, like, say, accomplish being divine, then everybody would be divine, wouldn't they? But because it's ineffable, it becomes an experience that people have. And I hope to talk more to you about ineffable experiences this year. How about something that's infantile? I don't know. What do you think it means? I think it means childish and immature. Not able to speak. So if you're not able to speak, then you are infantile because the ability to speak makes us more mature. A synonym for this word is actually juvenile, and antonym being mature. And it's interesting to look at how this word is put together. We take Latin in meaning not and fari meaning to speak. It's not able to speak, but not able to speak doesn't necessarily mean that something's childish or immature. But if you think about people that are childish and immature, right, usually don't have the ability to speak. Interesting. Infantile, childish, or immature. I've chosen Bob Ross for our image to go along with the word affable because I believe Bob Ross is affable, and he is easy to converse with or friendly. I wish that I knew him personally when he was alive, but I just imagine while I'm watching his show that he is affable, and that's easy to get along with. Our example sentence actually gives us another idea. The principal was affable, an affable fellow who got along well with all students. If he was not affable, he would not get along with them. Synonym courteous, antonym surly. Question: do you know anybody that's kind of surly? Our last root word for this collection is going to be dict or dic, Latin dicere or dictum. It means to say or to tell, just like these two cuties are doing in this photo. An edict is actually this thing in the photo on the right. It's a subpoena or a summons, and it comes from an official organization. This actually comes from the Royal High Court of the Raging Main. I don't even know what that is, but it's an official document, an official order, or an edict. The palace issued an edict forbidding the rebel prince from entering the country because the edict was official. Like, I could put out an order that said, like, no gum chewing in class. That would not be official. The school district could put out like an order that was official, and it would be an edict. Indict. This sign says, or this image on the right, these protesters actually have a sign that says indict the system. If you were to indict the system, you would be doing the same thing as would be happening in this photo right here. It would be to arrest it. So if to indict is to charge with a crime or to accuse, and it comes from the Latin in meaning against plus dictum meaning to speak against something. So indict is to speak against, but it's actually officially to charge with a crime. The jury indicted Glenn on 7 counts of unlawful use of a squirt gun. Glenn, man, come on. Dictum. This guy over here, right up here, is most likely giving a dictum right now. Any ideas? It's actually a formal or authoritative statement. It has been said. It is an authoritative statement, or it is formal, meaning it could come from the government, and it also could just come from a person, and could be formal as opposed to informal. Our example sentence reads, when asked to defend his seemingly rebellious behavior, Iggy cited a dictum of his favorite poet, Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, to be great is to be misunderstood. I hope to be reading some Ralph Waldo Emerson with you guys next semester, right towards the beginning, and remembering our favorite dictums from him. That's all of your vocab unit 2. I hope you're doing well. Get at me.